8 months ago, Tuesday, was my last day at my last full-time job. So I guess, in a way, we're celebrating an anniversary today, or with this video. It actually occurred, I think, on Tuesday. The 20th of June should be 8 months from the 20th of October. It's been a fun ride, and I have been kind of sort of looking for work. So today, I get to tell you, I not got only one offer, but two. Well, I guess that's true. One of them is really a gig type thing. You know how Uber and Lyft and Uber Eats and all, you get on an app and then you order something and somebody else brings it to you. So that's called the gig economy, where people don't really work a job. They just pick up little money, little odd jobs here and there on an app. So I had applied, I think last night, I found or saw a Facebook advertisement for this thing called the Papa app. And Papa is what I called my father's father, my paternal grandfather. And that's why it's called Papa app, because the guy that created it, he called his grandfather Papa also. Well, I call it the Miss Alice app because if you know me, I was a companion to Miss Alice for approximately a decade. I took her to lunch. I hired and supervised her healthcare workers, the ladies that came over and helped her with changing and bathing and all that stuff. And that's what the Papa app is. It's for people that want to give rides or do house cleaning or companionship or walk a dog or whatever for an elderly person. The man that invented it couldn't always be with his grandfather, so he invented an app so that people like me that want to work a little bit of extra and give to somebody could join this. But once I finally got approved, which apparently I put the wrong number of my driver's license, or I might have put that it was Virginia instead of Texas or whatever, maybe a wrong state. I got a text this afternoon saying, we couldn't finish your driving background check because the information was entered wrong. Please send us a picture of your driver's license. I'm already worried about giving y'all all this information that I don't even know who you are, but I went on and sent it, and then briefly thereafter I received an email about putting in the way they could pay me. Unfortunately, you have to fill out all this stuff on this app before you even get to see if there's any jobs in your area, which after I got through all that, it didn't show any jobs within a 120-mile radius. So I guess they're expanding. I think if I lived in Florida, there would be a lot of them. Maybe as I travel throughout the country, I'll find more. But my parents' area, where there's a lot of senior living apartments and communities, I would have thought there would be some there. I certainly thought there would be some in the Washington, D.C. area. But after I got all through it, I found there are, or maybe I just haven't done it right. I'll continue to try, and I'll look at it again Monday when I'm up at my parents'. And I had a Zoom interview at 12:30 Eastern Time this afternoon. And before we had finished the call, the executive director of this charity said it was probably a God thing that we met. And she said, you know, I don't usually, that she's usually a slow thinker. And I said, I agree with that. I'm a percolator. I'll get an idea, and then I'll have to think about it for days or weeks or months before I do it. She said, but I think we're such a good match, and you have the right experience we're looking for and all that. I'm just going to go ahead and offer you the position now. Unfortunately, it is for charity, and it's basically volunteer work. But I'm also not going to be working a whole lot. So I guess technically as of July 1st, I will be employed again. So I'll be 8 months and 10 days semi-retired. But as little of the work is, I think I'll still be semi-retired. But they said, you know, one of my responsibilities is going to be fundraising. The other is going to be event planning. And salary increases are based on my ability to raise funds. So with the intention of these becoming full-time jobs, they're actually bringing on 6 new people. I think one will be over finance, one will be over marketing, one probably like human resources or something, one the different chapters they have all throughout the world. Yeah, the world, not the country. And one, I think publications or communication or something, and then I'll be the finance and event planning director. I'm not going to tell you all the details now because I have not received the welcome letter, and I hate to get the cart in front of the horse, but anyway, by July 1st, I'm supposed to be working for this charity, which is worldwide in scope and hopes to, quote unquote, change the world, and I'm all about that. You know, they asked me, was I or how did I feel? What was the question? I was supposed to say whether I felt positively or negatively towards the word she used, and she said, influencer. I said, yeah, pretty positive. I have 2 YouTube channels. I said, they're not real big, but I also have almost 5,000 followers on Facebook. So I said, if I'm not an influencer yet, I plan to be real soon. She said, well, that's very good. There were like 5 other questions, you know, like generous and inclusive or diverse or something like that. And anyway, I was pretty much positive on all of them, so we were a good match, and I'm excited about that. It's not going to even pay a week's rent, so that's how low the salary is, but I'll probably only be working a couple hours a week. I have a staff meeting on Zoom for an hour and a half each week on Thursday nights, and then there'll be 4 quarterly events that I'll be responsible for ensuring that they go off, and some of them may be fundraisers, so she's pretty much giving me carte blanche as to how I want to run them and where I want to run them. So they may bring me back to Texas since I have a good base there. I have a lot of followers. I have a lot of friends that are into fundraising and event planning. So I might as well use my strengths and play to the strengths. So it would be nice to get back into Texas, maybe in the fall or the winter. Not right now when it's 110 degrees. But let me bring you up to date on what the last few days have been for me. They've been kind of rough. I don't know. Let me see. Oh, that's a magnolia. If you look over here to that tree, that's what happened after I made the last video down the hill. I can't quite get to that bench right now because there's another tree down on that path. I mean, I can get to it. I just have to go off the path around the fallen tree to get to the bench, or I could go down or up the hill where this sidewalk ends, but that's rather steep with several switchbacks of steps. But at least all the rain washed the bird poop off this bench. I bring a towel with me now so I can put it on the bench so I don't get bird poop on my blue pants or shorts today. But I think I'm going to try to continue this blue polo look for this channel as well as my health channel. But the lady was very pleased. I had 2 YouTube channels and said she would follow me, so hopefully I'll get more subscribers. Well, I think I will, because this is a group with international reach. I mean, I'm not going to be there to, I don't like that pole sticking out of my head, so I'm going to slide over. I don't want to use this to build my own business, but she was pleased that one of mine was about unconventional healthy living. That's the other channel. Find me at CP59Fit there. Of course, you're at Chillin' with Chip, so you can probably figure my name is Chip. I'm very glad to see all of you, or I guess you see me, to know that you're out there. And I'm under more of a shade today, so I apologize. It may be a little bit darker, but the storms that came through Wednesday night, 2 nights ago, after I finished the video, my last video, on the value of community, I ended up running right back over to my parents' house because all the power was out here. That was one heck of a storm, and everybody I've talked to in Pennsylvania or Minnesota said, well, send some of the rain our way. It's extremely dry. In fact, I just saw one person in Fort Worth saying they bet the fireworks for 4th of July would be canceled because it is so dry. That's never really mattered down there, though. It's illegal to possess fireworks personally in Fort Worth, and it's like a Mexican New Year down there when the 4th of July or New Year's or whatever happens. Everybody's got them. Dogs run away, they get scared. Be sure to take care of your dogs. Make sure they are enclosed somewhere where they can't run away, because many, many, many dogs are lost on 4th of July and New Year's Eve that are never recovered because the fireworks scare them so much they run away. They either get run over or captured by somebody else or captured and put into dog fighting. So if you love your little fur baby, make sure it's not outside on a night there's a lot of fireworks. Or thunderstorm, I guess, but who would want to be out in the rain anyway? I hope most of you bring your dogs in during the rain. that's probably a good synopsis of what's happened today. So anyway, there's a lot of tree damage around here. They said a friend of mine in Richmond told me on Facebook that when the storm hit here, it had 80-mile-an-hour straight line winds. By the time it got to Richmond, it was just the storm. But I do believe it rained like an inch in about 20 minutes. Of course, you can tell everything's green, and you can see the trees. That magnolia is big, but just there's a lot of tree damage. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you'll see some of the pictures I posted that all over the county, power lines are down. I think some are still down, but they're pretty good at getting them back up. But after living through a week of no power in Texas last year, all I had to do was blink a few times and go off. And I said, I'm going to somewhere where there is power, namely my parents, because being in a active senior community, even if they lose power, they're going to have it on pretty darn quick. A lot of people are on oxygen there, and you need the power to make the oxygen. Well, not to make it, but to pull it out of the air. The machines they use to connect to the cannula run on electricity. So, and that was one reason I did not lose electricity in the Snowmageddon. I was living in an active 55-plus senior community with a lot of 80-year-olds that were on oxygen, so they couldn't cut us off, just at will. Oh, the neighbor's coming out to holler at their dog. But anyway, that's enough. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. Thanks for all you do, and I look forward to growing this channel with you. Love you. Bye-bye.